Today's daf is Masechta Sota Daf Memhei. We are exactly 7 lines from the top of Memhei and Alf, in the middle of the line by a dot where it says Masnisin. So Zok the Gemara. The Mishnah was mavur that only Sanhedrin and Doilo would go out and measure by Egla Rufa how close is this dead corpse into which city. They do the measurements. So Zok the Gemara, Masnisim like Reb Elazar ben Yaakov. The Mishnah is going not like Reb Elazar ben Yaakov. Why? The Tanya we learned in a Brayso. Reb Elazar ben Yaakov says that it says Zekeinecha v'Sheiftecha. Zekeinecha zu Sanhedrin is going on Sanhedrin. Sheiftecha ze Melech v'Kohen Gadol. Sheiftecha is going on a Melech and a Kohen Gadol, that they also would go out and do the work for Egla Rufa. So Zok the Gemara, Melech is included in Sheiftecha. The Chsiv, it says a pasuk in Mishlei Parachav Tes pasuk Dalad, Melech b'Mishpat Yamed Eretz. So you see, it's included in Mishpat. Kohen Gadol is also included in Sheiftecha. Zok the Gemara, what's the right? The Chsiv, it says a pasuk in the Varim Parachav Zayin pasuk Tes of Vasala Kohanim Halavim the Ela Sheva Shia V'Yamahem Parash Kisav. So it's Masra the Sheifa is a Muna on the Kohanim, and he's a Kohen Gadol. That is, Zok the Gemara, Iboyelahu. The Gemara declares a shayla. Reb Elazar ben Yaakov ben Melech Kohen Gadol hu the Polig. Is he arguing on the Mishnah by on the Melech Lebenegea Melech Kohen Gadol? Aval b'Sanhedrin ba in the amount of Sanhedrin Iker Yehuda, either like Yehuda you need to have 5, Iker Shimon you need to have 3 Sfira lay. He agrees with the amounts. He's just arguing with could they be a Melech Kohen Gadol? Or maybe he's arguing in the amounts of how many Sanhedrin you have to have. And according to Shitz of Elazar ben Yaakov, they would not measure until you have all the Sanhedrin. So he would argue Shimon or Yehuda like the amount. Zok the Gemara, I'll bring you a raya. Amar of Yosef, Zok of Yosef, Tashama, Mitzah Zakai Mamre. If a Zakai Mamre found the Sanhedrin Chutz Mekayimam outside of where they're supposed to be, outside of Lishkas Agazis, Abe Pagi, they found them in a place called Pagi, and they asked them why were they there. Behimra Aleim, and he rebelled against them. So Yochel Tehei Amra Asa Amra, I might think that's considered a rebellion. Talmud Loimar. So it says a pasuk Zakam Mamre, Dvorim Parach Yudzai, pasuk Ches, V'Kam Tavalis Al Makom, Melamed Sham Makom, in the place of the Yuchad Sanhedrin is Goyim to Mechayim them. And if he didn't ask them there, then he's Pater. Zakam Gemara, the Nafok Kama. This that they went out to Beipagi, how much do they go out? Elim in the Nafuk with Sasan, if they went out a little bit, Do Mahanach they could Gavai Kavasei Sfilo, maybe the ones that were inside, left inside, they hold like them. And he's not going to mamre at all. And you don't have to invite him. Pshita the Nafuk Kulu, they all went out of the place, and then Lachar, then you would have to invite because that he's Pater, even though he rebelled against all of them. So the Gemara, why they all go out? Ilid Varashos, either went out for Varashos Mimota Nafki. Are they allowed to go out? But it says Pasuk Shir Ashirim, Paragzayin Pasuk Gimel, Shoreich Agan Hasar Al Yechsar HaMozeg. And we dash that Sanhedrin is sitting in the Sanhedrin is sitting like in the strip of Eretz Yisrael. They have to leave over a certain amount of Sanhedrin in the original place. Zok the Gemara. So it's mavur in this pasuk in Shir Ashirim that you're not allowed to be missing Sanhedrin, like the amount that you have yain that's mozek, which is a third of a kais. It could be water. So you learn out that a third of Dayanim have to stay, which is a third of 71, which is 23, has to stay behind. So Gemara Shem Nitzruch Echmel Notzeis in Yesh Sham Eser Mishlosh. If there's 23 left over, can I get Sanhedrin Katana and Yotzit and you can go out. And Lav you can't go out. So the Chor is like more, so not Yitachan to all left. Al Pshita L'Dvar Mitzvah. They went out for Dvar Mitzvah. For the Gemara Lamai, for which Mitzvah they all go out. Lav and Didis Egla. Didn't they all go out? And Didis Egla. Lezer ben Yaakov. And the Chor it's Shitz Lezer Yaakov that holds that all 71 Sanhedrin have to go out. So it's a raya. Lezer ben Yaakov holds like that. So the Gemara no. Amar Le Abai. Abai told me it's a loy. It's not the reason why they're out. Kodilma Lahaisif Al. Ha'ir Balazar. So maybe they went to add on to the borders of Kedusha Seir Yerushalayim and Alazaris. And they all went out because they found like learned the Mishnah and receiving all the Ir Balazaris, only the Bezin of Shum Ve'echat. So maybe that's why the Bezin of Shum Ve'echat went out. So let's come on, Avait, I'll bring you right, telling of Seder Yosef and learn like of Yosef. Mitza'on Beis Pagib. You found the Zakim Mamre on Beis Pagib, Behimrale. And he rebelled because she yelled to him Didas Egla. He went out from Didas Egla. Hisav al Ir Balazaris. Yachot Ham Rasam Ra. Tamalem Kamta Lisa Malam Sham Malkin Gorim. So Dr. Gemara, you see from this, like Rabbi was saying, that Rabbi Lezer Yaakov holds that all you need to have all the Sanhedrin for Medida of Eglah Rufa for measurements. Dr. Gemara, Nitza Tam Magal, I told you, Elon, if you find a corpse that was hidden on the stones or was hanging from a tree, so the halach is you will not be Eirif, you not crack the neck of the Rufa, because it says by Adama, Veloy Tamid. So tomorrow, Lei Masnisen is going to Shid Zerbi Yehudi. He will learn Rabbanon. Why? The time learned in a brayse that said in the Gemara Parach of Dal Pasuk Yates, V'shachachto oimer basada, loisashav lakachto. You should not go back and get it if you left there. And basada is mashma that it's open al panei asada on the field prat latam and prat, that if it's hidden, then it's not considered sheicha. Divrei Yehuda. Chamer basada is mashma what's in the sada rabas tamid, even if it's hidden. And it's included in this that you don't go back for it. So Zakimar L'chor, the Mishnah that's Mavur, that's my Talmud is going with Shitz Rabbi Yehuda, that Talmud is not included. So Zakimar, no, Amarav, no, I tell you, I feel the Tamer Karabana, maybe it's even going to Rabbanan. Because Hacha by Eglah Rufa Minyan the Kra, you have to dash in Indian the Kra that's talking about here. And Hasan by Shicha by Omer, you have to dash in Minyan the Kra. The Chsiv Ki Motzei Chalal, by Eglah it says Ki Motzei Chalal is Mashma. And an oifen that it's found, even in any oifen that it's found, even if it's hidden. So therefore, by Adam I could tell you, behechach I'll tell you, be my prat latamen. Prat if it's hidden, v'hasam yan the kram. Mashing by oimer tell you it's yan the kram. The chsiki sixer ketzircha besadecha v'shachachta oimer. So there were makas shum shikcha dumya the katzir. Mak katzir is begali. Afshecha begali, so it's my talmud. Because Rachmana basada, it's coming to Mar b'talmud. There's more Yehuda nami typically mishicha dumi the kotzer. According to Yehuda, so how come it's only l'shitas Rabbanan? Why Yehuda also learn out by shikha dumi the katzira, just like Rabbanan's learning? And why is Yehuda b'mayit talmud by sada? There's more Eina chanami. Taka is mayit the ella basada lamali. So what do you need to have basada? So the Gemara, Boiler Rabbis Shikras Kama. It's going to be Marba Shikras Kama, that he forgot to cut a corner of the field. And it's telling you that Shchachta Omer Basada, Shchachta Omer, or Shchachta Basada, both of them are Shikha. In fact, the Gemara, Rabbanan Shikras Kama, Manalo, where do the Rabbanan knows halacha? Like, Naflum Mechisik Ketzircha Basada, Shchachta. The word Basadecha is extra, so we dash from Basadecha, Shchachta, that he forgot to cut from his field. For tomorrow, Yehuda, what does he learn out from this? Tomorrow, Bali do Ravo, these are for Ravo, Allah, Amar Lazar. The Amar Ravo, Lazar, he says, V'sadechas v'mayit prat l'shetzafu oimarin. If the bundles flew into his friend's field, then he forgot them, because he thought they were his friends. For tomorrow, Rabbanon, where Rabbanon learns halacha like tomorrow. Mibasada, from the fact that it does not say basada, rather it says basadcha, so it's mashma that dafka in your field is din shikha and not in your friend's field. Yehuda basada basada mashma, he doesn't hold that it's mashma to dash or anything. And there's no makor to marit tamen, so you have the meat left over to tell you shikha to me the katzer. Frak the marashai barim yira tzafu oimar l'sechas deo. Mahu. What happens if the wind lifted the bundles on top of one on top of another or on top of a stone, do you say avir sada? It's considered still the space of the sada kasod nami, and it has it in shikha. It's considered as if it's a sada. Or lav kasada is it not considered like it's shikha in the sada? Amalei Rav Kahana Rav Papi. Amalei Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana Torah Rav Papi, and some say Amalei Rav Kahana Torah Tiv Shalei. It says Prat that is Saf with Aymarn into his friend's field. It's mashma the Chavera in Dafkas Sada Chavera is Usmait. But if it blew on top of a stone on top of each other, so it's not in mind. But the more of a Tamech, according to you, the Imdayak from this, so Ibazoi, Sechste Chavera, Safu in Munachamoi, then even if it flew to his friend's field, you should say that Dafka, if it's Safu, it's a smite, but Munachim, the Karka, if it's sitting on his friend's field on the Karka, it should not be a smite, because Veleza says a Lashon Safu, so you know Besadcha Valeka, you have to have Besadcha, and it's not Besadcha, so it's not true there, Alacha. So Gemara, Ela, Avad, I'll tell you that Afu means Sechste Chaveroi, Afilu Menachem, even Menachem is a smite, Ahidika Omar, this Rabbi Loza used the Lashon Safu, who's Lav Dafka, there's no right to the Din Safu and Sadeh and Avada, only chaps on the Lashon Safu because Lemishkachas Elabet Safu. You only find that Imar on your friend's field only if the wind blows it. So that's why chaps on Lashon Safu. Avada, if it's in your own field and it's one on top of another, it still has a Din Shich of your field. Zotli more Tashma, I'll bring you another raya. Oimer shehichzik boy lahilichali ear, oimer, a bundle that you grabbed it in order to take it to a city. V'nichal gav you put it on top of another oimer. Shchocha, you forgot both of them. So hatachton shikha, the bottom one is shikha, it's halfker. But only shikha, it's not. The top one is not. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda oimer, that's shittas Tanakh. Reb Shimon Yehuda says Reb Shimon. Shneim in shikha, both on shikha. Tachton neshu tamen, because it's tamen. The alyam neshu tzaf, the top one is because it's not laying directly on the karka; it's kind of floating. It's raised. Zok the Gemara, adkan lepligi, they're not arguing al betachton. Al be'alyam divra kol lavashon. Everybody agrees the top one is not shikha because it's floating. So the chari, even when the wind lifts it up and it goes one on top of another, it should be the same thing. So it's mashma the avir sodas. Taka not like sodas. Like tomorrow, no, it's not a riot. Shani Hasan came in the achzik because he picked it up to bring it to the city. So zachabe, he was already zeichin it. So therefore, when he forgets it, it's not chalad and shecha. There's no riot to the din. We're in a case where the wind actually picks it up and puts it on top of another. Fracting Gemara, hachimai iriya. Why does it say al gabe chavira? Afilu basada nami. Why does it have to say when on top of another? Even if it's basada, if he grabbed it to take it to the city and he left it in sada, also should be a similar lacha. So Gemara in a chanami, it's taka also patva. How do you tell gabe chavira mishum tachten? I want to tell you the din of the tachten. In fact, Gemara neshu tzaf gomer. It says because it's tzaf, not because it's zeichenet. So Gemara emo that the kavana is that the omer is pater. You need to put it on the ground afterwards. B'pnei shu katzaf, because as a din like a tzaf la'olam and it's munach yadi. Okay. Zok the Gemara, Amar Abaya. Abaya said, Amar Abaya, Hareini. Abaya said, so one day that his mind was calm, he said, I'm in Pumbedisa, Ki Ben Azai b'Shukei Tveria. Just like Ben Azai would darshan v'charifas and would darshan b'Shukei Tveria, I'm in Pumbedisa, and I'm ready to answer b'Oimek or Charifas like Ben Azai did in B'Shukei Tveria. Amar le'Yehuvin d'Rabbanan Abayis. So one of the Rabbanan told Abayis, Shnei chalolim zal gabi zeh. What's our halacha if you find two corpses, one on top of another, and one of them is it's not directly on top, it's pulled a little away, and each corpse is closer to another city because they're not directly one on top of another. So one is closer to one city and one's closer to another city. So from which city do you measure? What's the halacha? Do you say min b'mino you have a taman? Do you say that because it's min b'mino and one's on top of another, so the one on the bottom is considered taman, so you're not moeded from the one on the bottom? Umim b'mino le'av etzaf, and because it's also mim b'mino is le'av etzaf, and the one on top does not have a din like tzaf al mahim. The alyin moeded. In that case, you would be moeded just from the top one. Dilma, do you say mim b'mino is tzaf, and you're not moeded the alyin? Umim b'mino le'av etamin is not considered tamin, and therefore it's hachna moeded. So very lamdish shaila. Or Dilma, do you say a third sign mim b'mino have a tamin? Maybe you'll say that mim b'mino is tamin. Umim b'minoi have it saf, and mim it's minoi is saf. V'loi mitachna moedin loi malia moedin. Or maybe a third sign, maybe you won't be measured from any of them. Maybe it's considered saf and it's considered tamin. Dr. Gemara, Amar Lei, Abaya said to Nisua, Ki Posha the suffix from this, I will learn Tosefta in Peah, Paragilum, Halacha Zayin. It says, if he grabbed onto Aimer to Melech the ear, and put on top of the other another Aimer, Shchach, and he forgot it, Hatachten, Shecha, Abanam, Shechem, the onion is not Shecha. Reb Shimon ben Yehuda, Aimer, Reb Shimon, Reb Shimon, Shnei and Shecha, they're both not Shecha. Hatachten, Neshur Toman, the Alyam, Neshur Tzaf. So Zakti Gemara, Savrua, the Chacham Beismeder thought, the Hane Tanoi in the Braisa, Rabbi Yehuda's Svirle, these Tanam and the Braisa hold like Rabbi Yehuda, the Amar that says in Manav, Basada Prata Taman, that it's not Shecha, my love Haka Miflagi, and the argument of the Braisa, the Mar, Rabbi Shimon Yehuda holds Savar Mimimina is Taman, and therefore the Tachatan is Taman, Umar Tanakama holds Mimimina is not Taman. So Ibizaya Poshet Abaya, the Mimimina is Taman, that's a Machlaikas. So Zakti Gemara, the Gemara's matchel loy. That wasn't the kavana of the Yipashid. Rather, Iker Yehuda Svir Lahu the Kuli Alma Mimina Taman. If you hold like Rabbi Yehuda, then Kuli Alma holds that Mimina is Taman Vahacha Pluk Rabbi Yehuda Rabbana Kamiflagi. The Machlekes Rabbi Yehuda Rabbana Kamiflagi. In the Machlekes Rabbi Yehuda Rabbana that the Rabbanan hold Tanakama holds that there is Shekha Taman Karabanan. Holds that the Rabbanan are Rabbi Yehuda, and therefore the Tachtan is Shekha. Rabbi Shimon Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon Yehuda holds like Rabbi Yehuda that by Taman there's no Shekha, and Abai is being poshet that Mimimina is Taman. Affecting Amari Hachi that the no Machlekes Mimimina is Taman. My area Agav Chaveroi. Why do you have to say it's Taman Agav Chaveroi? I feel about offer with tzrar, even on top of dirt or on top of stones. Nami it should be the same halacha. Like tomorrow Enechanami. It's coming to tell you the strength of Rabbi Yehuda that says that even Mimimina is Taman. Zokti Gemara Vayter Tanu Rabbanon. Rabbanon learned in a brayso that says Dvar Perchaval Pasuk Alf Chala Ba'adamo, and then it says Neifel Basal. So Chala, you learn out that Davke got killed with metal, like something metal, like a cherub. Loi Chana could not have got choked. Chala, he found him dead. V'loi mefarfer, and not like on the way to dying. That you do not need to egla rufa, because maybe he'll still survive. Ba'adama v'loi taman begal, and not hidden under stones. Neifel, and not tali be'ilam. Basada, and not safak nimayim. Rabbi says, but kulon, all these cases of mefarfer and taman and tali yitzaf, im hayachalo arfin. If it was a chol and it was not chanuk, then you arf. In fact, exactly Gemara, Tanya, we learned in the Brayso, Amr B'Yosef Yehuda, Amr Loi Chacham told Rabbi Lazar, Iyata Moida, don't you Rabbi Lazar agree, Shemay Chanuk Mutal Ba'ashba, if it was Chanuk, it was Mutal Ba'ashba, not Safa, not Taman, that ain't arfin. Alma, we see the chol v'loi chanuk. So Hachanami Ba'adama Darshan Loi Tam Bagal, Neifel Loi Tam Bilam Asan, Loi Tam Bagal Mayim. Exactly Gemara, Rabbi Lazar chol Yisrael. Rabbi Lazar holds chol Yisrael. It says Ksiv in the parsha, and that's where you might Chanuk, and the first parsha he doesn't darshan at all. So that's how Rabbi Lazar holds that Dafka Chanuk, the whole meat is only a Chanuk. Zakti Gemara Vaita, the Mishnah said, Nimsa Samach Lasfar, the issue of Rabbi Chavim, they would not do the Agla Rufa, so it's a Makar, Zakti Gemara, the Chsiz said, Varam Parak Chapal Pasuk Aleph, Ki Motzei. And it's a mash and we darshan Prat Lamotzei. So if it wasn't found in an area where it was right some halal, so therefore in a place where it's matzah goyim, so we were told that the goyim murdered him, and Mela would not arf. You don't do Egla Rufa. Misha said, Oili Ir Shein Ba Bezdin, they would not do Egla Rufa. What's the reason? Dr. Gemara, the Be'ino, you have to have V'lakhu Ziknir. This is the Dvar Perchaval Pasuk Gimel, V'lakhu Ziknir V'leka. You don't have in this ear is a Canaan. So merely can't be Mekayim Egla Rufa. Dr. Gemara Viter. The Mishnah said, Ein Moedin El Li'ir that has a Bezdin. So for Gemara, Pshita L'char is Pashat. Came in Tana Le'ir Shem Bezdin, since I already said before that you're not oyer if it's found next to an ear that doesn't have a Bezdin, so it's Pashat that you only moed Le'ir Shesh Bezdin. So why do they have to say it again? Why does it chazer it over? So and for the Gemara that before is mashma, they're not oyer at all in this case. So therefore, Kamashma is coming to tell you that it's not the halacha. Because the Tanya learned Braysom Naishim Mitzvah Samach Leir Shem Bezdin Shem Nichan Oisa that you leave that city in Moed Leir Sheish Bezdin and you measure to a city that does have a Bezdin, even though it's further away. Talmud Leir L'Lach Ziknir Hahi. So Ha'ir is extra. So you learn out the Mikol Makayim. So we learn out that if there's no zaken or no bezdin in that city, even though the city's closer, you could still try to measure from the next city that's further away if it does have a bezdin. Zok the Gemara weiter. So we have a new Mishnah here. Okay, so the Mishnah says the Gemara now is going to explain additional dinim in Egla Rufa. Zok Gemara. Nimtza mechuvim. What happens if you find the chalal, the corpse, a dead body? Mechuvim in shtei ayaros. It's exactly between two cities. It's not closer to any specific city. So what's the halacha? Shtei mevi is shtei agalos. Then each city, its own egla. Divrei Belez. That's what Belez hold. Ve'en Yerushalayim mevi egla rufa. However, if it's carved to Yerushalayim does not bring egla rufa. Nimtza roisha yemakom echav gufin makom echav. What happens if you find the head of the dead body in one area and the guf in another area? Ma'lichin and roisha. So you put the roish next to the guf. Divrei Belez. That's what Belez holds. Rabbi Kiva says haguf hates all roish. The guf goes busted a roish. Me'ayin. Hayumaydin. From which aver in the mace would you measure? Belez are mitiburai. So, Rebbe says, "Mitibur from the belly, but Rebbe Kiva Omer mechoytme from his nose. Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov Omer mimakam shenasa chalal, from the area that he becomes a corpse, a dead person. Mitzavari, meaning mitzavari from his neck. Zakti Gemara. My time in Rebbe Lezer. What's the reason Rebbe Lezer holds that every city has potential to become?" So the Gemara wants to know, why does Rebbe Lezer say in the mission that Shteim v'Shtei Agalos? If it's close to two cities exactly, they could both bring us. Why does he hold the He holds that you can mamish be mitzamtzim, and you could have two cities that are equally close to the chalal. The kroiva, and also he holds that this, that it says kroiva lachalal dvarim parachav al pasuk gimel is mashra afilu kroivos, even if two cities are equally as close to the chalal. So each one brings the Egla Rufa. Zakti Gemara, the Mishnah says, "Ein Yerushalayim of Egla Rufa." Yerushalayim does not bring Egla Rufa. Zakti Gemara, the Amar Kra, because the pasuk says in Devar and Parach Aval pasuk Alf, "Ba'adama Hashem lekecha noisin lecha lerishta." So because Savar, the Tana holds that Yerushalayim lein eschalkol shvatim. Yerushalayim was not eschalkol shvatim, and it was not in Bechlal Yerushta, because the pasuk said l'rishta and it's a smite. So Gemara nimtza roishim and makom echad. What happens if you find the head in one place and the guf in another place? So it's machlekes. What do you go about? So Gemara mamai kamifli. What's the argument? Ilay mileinim medida kamifli. If machlekes is, do you measure from the guf or from the head? Hamitani seifim ayin ayin. If you see in the seif that there's machlekes where you measure from, machlal the reisha medida skina. So you see in the reisha. The machlekes is not about medida. So Gemara Rabbi Yitzchak b'meis mitzvah kana makoyma kamiflagi. The arguing be'inyan if the person's a meis mitzvah, if he's kana mekayma, the place where he's lying, and the person who owns the karka cannot hold back from burying him there. So b'hachi kamar lakoivrai leinin, to bury him there kana mekaymai, you have to bury him there. V'heichanim it's a roisha makam echad v'gufim makam achar. If his head's in one place and his body's in another place, malichin a roisha itzal guf legabe the burial. The Rebbe Lezer. Rakiva Omer, the guf goes basal l'roish. So the Gemara my kamiflagi mar savar gufei beduchte nafel, that the guf fell in the area where he got killed, and that's where he's kana mekaymai. So and Reisha the nadiv nafel, and he holds that the head fell and rolled away somewhere else. Umar b'kivo savar Reisha heichad nafel, that the head wherever it fell, and it's not moving from there. Gufahu derat azol, and he holds that the guf, or b'kivo holds that the guf ran away. So that's why he holds the go basa the roish. So the Gemara, the Mishnah said, "Ma'ayin he might where to measure from." According to Rabbi Lezman Tibura, b'kivim b'him his nose. So the Gemara might come iflagi mar savar ikachis ba'ape. Rabbi Akiva holds that you measure from his nose because ikachis ba'ape. The chis of the adam is in that area, and the mela, that's where you call machal, and that's where you measure from. Mar Rabbi Lezer holds savar ikachis b'tibure, which is the middle of the guf, and that's where he gets his mazon, and that's where it's called a chalal. So Zak the Gemara. Lema, let's say that it's totally in a different machlekes, kihane tanai, that we learned mehecha havlad noitzer, where is the vlad created from in the rechem meroishai, from the head, and it's learned from Zereshava. V'cheinu oimer, it says Tehillim Perkayin Al Pasuk Vav Mei Imi Ata Goizi Reishis Yitzirasi Berechem Hoisem Eroishi Va'omer, and it says a pasuk in Yirmiyah Perak Zayin Pasuk Chavtes Shegoizi, and you see that Goizi is the head, because it says Gozri Nizrech V'Hashlichi, and it says Tilshi Sa Roishich. You see it's refers to the head as Gozi. It's talking about the hair of a nazir apparently. So you see the beginning of Yitzira is from the Rosh. Abishal says that a person is noitzer, a person gets formed mitibure from his stomach, and then he has roots that grow either both up and down. So like the Gemara Lachar Tanakama holds like Rabbi Akiva that the Rosh is Iker Chiyas, and Abishal holds like Rabbi Lezer that it's the taver, the belly button. So like the Gemara, no, I feel like Tema Abishal, I can even tell you Abishal holds like Rabbi Akiva. Over here it goes basaheg. Ad kalan like Amar Abishal, that the ikar is a tibra only in Yitzir. That's the gabe formation when a person gets created. The chimitzar vlad, when a vla, when a child gets formed, mitziyase, it starts from the middle mitzar. Avlen chiyusa gabe, the chiyus of a person, the kuliyam ba'api, who everybody agrees maybe that it's in the head. The chsiv, it says Bereshit Parak Zayin Pasuk Chavbeis Kol Shenish Masruach Chaim ba'apav. And you see that the makim that you shoyev ruach, the ikar achiyas is ba'apav. So maybe even Abishal holds legabi yitzir savlad that it's in the tibur, but maybe he would agree that the ikar chiyas of a person is in the head. Zok the Gemara, the Mishnah said, "Belazim Yaakov Omer makom shenasa cholol mitzavarei." You measure from the area, it becomes a chol from his neck. Zok the Gemara, my time Belazim Yaakov. Zok the Gemara, the Chsiv says a pasuk in Yechezkel. Pasuk of al Perach of al Pasuk Lamed Daled Loses Oischal Tzavrei Chalalei Rishon. So you see the pasuk in Yechezkel refers to their neck as to where they're going to become chalalim. That's what it's discussing. Discussing Prionis Ta'amain. Zok the Gemara Vaita. The Mishnah said, Niftu Zikun Shlayim V'Halchulahem. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's a new Mishnah. Okay, Zak the Mishnah, we have a new Mishnah. So the Mishnah Vaita is discussing Egel Harufa. It says, Niftaru Ziknei Yerushalayim v'Halchulahem. So the Ziknei Yerushalayim that came out to be moeded, to measure, they only came out to measure. It says, V'yatzu Zekeinecha, like it says, Dvarim Perach Chaval Pasuk Bey, V'yatzu Zekeinecha v'Sheftecho Maladu. V'Halchulahem, and they left. So Ziknei Oisa Ir, the Zekeinim of that city, that's carved to the Chalal, Mavian Eglas Bakar. So it says that we take a cattle, and it never carried a load, and a mum would not pass on it. It's not a carbon. And they would be moired it to Nachal Esan, Sagt the Mishnah, Esan Kimashmoi Kasha, means that the karka there was hard like a rock. Afal Pisha Einai Esan Kasher. But the Yavid, even if it wasn't Esan, it was still Kasher. But Arif Nois about Koifitz, they would. So they would bring it up to Nachal Esan, to the valley of Esan, and they would be crack a second by Charav from the back, or Makoima, and that area will become Asar Hana, Asar Melazroya Malavoid, Umutter Lisrik Sham Pishtan. You're allowed to comb flax, Ulanaker Sham Avanim, and to chisel stones. So the Mishnah is saying you're allowed to do that kind of work in that area on the Nachal Esan where this Egla Rufa was done. You're just not allowed to do avoid on the Gufa of the Karka. The Gufa of the Karka is Asar, but you're allowed to do work on that area. They would wash their hands with water, and they would say, the pasuk in Devarim Chaval pasuk Zayin. Also, would you think, what's the halami? Would you think that the Ziknei Bezin are murderers? That they're saying, they have to say that it means that they were not goyim from the Mitzvah. The person that got killed did not come to us, and we didn't let him go without food. And then he might have had to rob somebody, and that's why he got killed. Meaning we did not see the person that got killed, and would not leave him without a group of people that go after him when he leaves on his way out, that he shouldn't come to Desakana. Zok the Mishnah weiter, the Koyanim would say, this pasuk in the Devarim Parchaval pasuk Ches, Kapel Amcha Yisrael Shapadisa, Val Titein Dam Naki Bekarev Amcha Yisrael. Lo Yitzrichen Loimar, the end of the pasuk in the Kapel Adam, Ella, the pasuk means to say, Ruach HaKodesh Mevasar, then the Ruach HaKodesh would Mevasar them, Aydei Moshe, the Imesai Shatasu Kocha, Adam Eschaper Lehem. That whenever they would do this process, the Dam would be Neschaper Lehem. That's what the Torah is trying to say with those words, Neschaper Lehem Adam. So Mashal makes a dig. He says that if it was trying to say that those are the words of Koyanim, it should have said Kaper Lehem Adam, not V'ni Kaper. That's the Mashal's dig.